Hi everyone, Christopher here, and welcome back to Fossil Forward Finds. We have another What Sold video for you. This is for last week, April 6th through April 12th. Thankfully, numbers jumped back to normal. If you saw last week's video, I was down about 50% of normal as far as sales, but I hopped back up to normal this past week. 36 sales, $330. And 22% of those sales have come from items that I purchased from my friend Flipping Roo over on WhatNot. So I'm going to start off the first half of the What Sold with Flipping Roo features. Some of the sales I got this week from purchasing from them. And then I'll switch into some sci-fi sales and so forth. So let's get into it. All right, so we are going to dive into our first Flipping Roo feature for this What Sold video. This is a single photograph, 3.5 by 5 inches, so close to your standard size postcard. And this is a lot that I had bought from Flipperoo a little while ago. This one's been listed since March of last year. It was a whole series of photographs from this older couple's vacation to Mexico, and I still have tons of these to list that I probably should get to, but they've been fun to go through. Um, I Anytime I get lost like this, I usually go through and list my favorite ones first. In particular, there was one, and maybe I'll try to find it again for a later video. It already sold, but it was this the older woman. She was eating ribs out of the trunk of their Chevrolet car, which you can. Yeah, she was eating it out of that trunk. It was vintage Wonder Bread branded in the background, Jello. I don't know. It was just it it set a mood. It was so fun. So this one sold for $6.99. This one has I can't make out what it says on the back. I think it's the name of the town that they were near in Mexico. But yeah, don't be afraid to list individual photographs. Just gotta kind of come up with the right titles. This one, I had an idea what the plant was based on, I think, other photos. I knew the town from the back, and then again, context from other photos in the lot. I had an idea for date and so forth. So these are a lot of fun. I know Flippin' Roo kept some to list herself, and then I bought some of them from her. I don't know how much more she has, but these have been fun to go through. I need to get back to finishing off what I have. All right, so all three of these items were bought by the same person, and actually, this individual also bought a few postcards that were circus related as well. Um, but in any case, these are trading cards, or um, I'll I didn't write it as such in this instance, but I would sometimes call them swap cards as well, and I do plan on doing some videos about those in the future. But all three of these sold. I initially had them at $4.49 each. Because they bought all three of them together, they did save a little bit. I think maybe 15%. I'm not exactly sure, but in any case, same buyer bought all three of them. I made $8.59 on it after shipping, which ain't too bad. I believe I got these from some of Roo's bulk lots. Every so often they'll have um, assorted ephemera lots that have swap cards and Victorian trade cards and postcards and uh, images from books or magazines or whatever. They're fun lots, and that's usually where I go when I want to try some different things because I get a little bit of everything and then I get to play around. So I do recommend you checking out their shows and getting some of those assorted lots. Just want to bring you a little closer in on one of these items. I believe they were some sort of educational game or something. I'm not entirely sure. Called Edu Cards, but they all the ones I have anyway seem to have a circus theme. And yeah, someone again, this buyer bought circus postcards, so they're clearly a circus person, circus collector. So yeah, you never know what people are interested in. You just got to toss them up and see what happens. I listed these in October of 2023, so they're not fast sellers, and obviously you're not getting rich off them. Um, but they fill in those gaps, and you get enough of these small sales, they add up. This one was a recent purchase. Um, there was I think it was a dog train, a retirement party sort of train on whatnot. I'm blanking on the individual's name. I'm sure Flipping Roo can leave it in the comments. But there were a whole bunch of dog real photo postcards. I believe she was doing choice, pick two. When I broke down the numbers for what I purchased, I came out to $2.83 an item, which a little higher than I normally like to pay, but I like real photo postcards, especially ones with dogs in them. This one was trimmed, but even despite that, and despite the discoloration on the back, it still sold for $14.99. So can't complain with that. And look at that face. It's just the cutest face. All right. Another dog, but though this one I listed in 2024, so this one I had a while ago. Cocker Spaniel. I have a soft spot for them. It was my childhood dog. But other than that, there's just your basic dog portrait card. Some breeds do sell better than others. Cocker Spaniels, for whatever reason, during the heyday of postcards, there seemed to be a love for Cocker Spaniels because there were a lot of postcards of them. But other types like Dalmatians, German Shepherds, Greyhounds, Afghan Greyhounds, they tend, at least for me, to sell faster, and sometimes for a few extra bucks. So, if you have some of those slightly more obscure, not that German Shepherds or Dalmatians are obscure as far as dog breeds, but less common dog breeds that you see on postcards, it doesn't hurt to check them out. I think, yeah, this is our last. Ooh, and I just exited out because I'm amateur hour. Give me a second here. All right, I have recovered. So this is the last Roo item I'm going to show. I did have an additional Roo sale, but I can't show that because that one's maybe a little too risque for the channel. But in any case, I did sell this pinup sticker. It's modern. It's not old. It's just a vintage-looking image pinup. Roo had a whole bunch of these. I think Buy It Now on one of the Whatnot shows, and I just scooped them all up and have been selling each one individually. I think it only took a few weeks for me to make my money back, so I have a whole bunch left. It's all profit at this point. Stickers do go eBay standard envelope, so it's as good as a postcard for me. Alrighty. All right, so we're done with the Flipping Roo features for the day. But I have a few last remaining items I wanted to show, so we do our top 10 here. I have a whole bunch of these Hindu goddesses related postcards. They are oversized. I don't know the exact. They're 5x7. Okay, so they're 5x7 postcards. These all came out of postcard books, and I bought them all from Postcard and Prosecco on Whatnot. I don't remember exactly what I paid for the lot, but it wasn't too bad. Maybe $10-15 for 3 or 4 books, and each book had 32 cards in them. What did I do? I took the books and I took every single individual card out, and I'm selling them separately. And I sell a few, usually a few a week. I had 2 this past week, and yeah, some of them sell for $8.50 because I'll usually send a 50% offer out, but a lot of them sell for the full price of $10. So don't sleep on those postcard books. I'll probably do a video about it at some point. It's not really a shocking idea, but if you take the individual cards out, 1, you reduce shipping cost. 2, you get to break things down, maximize your profits, and 3, well, you can use your keywords better because each one of those cards in that book are going to be a different town or a different goddess or a different scene, different animal, whatever your book happens to be. So you get to keyword optimize better and you're more likely to move them. So don't sleep on the postcard books. Alrighty. Uh, I'm pretty sure you're aware I'm a Star Trek fan, but if you're not, I am very much a Star Trek fan. So this came in a lot I bought on eBay. Person had a whole set of DS9 Star Trek DS9 postcards that I did not have yet in my personal collection. They had two sets, so I bought them both. One set went into my collection, and the other set I've put up for sale individually. And I think I've sold two, maybe three cards from the set so far, and I've already paid off, I think, like 80% of my costs, including the ones that stayed in my collection. So, you know, if you are a collector, sometimes this can be a way to help pay for your expansion. But anyways, we got Captain or Commander Benjamin Sisko, depending which season you're in. Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Now, I think these are German uh, Star Trek postcards, which is why I hadn't come across them before. Um, a lot of the Star Trek cards are fairly common and don't necessarily move too quickly. I usually sell a lot of them for like 550, but all the cards in this set I was not finding listings for, so I decided to raise the price a little bit, and they are moving. So, and these I listed in February of this year, so it hasn't taken that long. All right, and not to let the other folks feel left out, Star Wars. I am a Star Wars fan as well. This is another lot I bought on eBay. I don't typically collect Star Wars. There's maybe a few characters that if I have duplicates of, I'll save one. But these are a whole series of like artsy postcards for Disney's Galaxy Edge. It's I guess the ride is maybe a year or two old at this point. I don't remember, but whole series of postcards from different towns or planets in the Star Wars universe. Um, I sold two to this one buyer for $10 each. These haven't been the quickest seller, but I think I paid for like a buck each, so I am more than doing fine on it. So this one I just had to. I had someone who's been going through my store and buying like every Sesame Street and Muppets related card that I have. Um, Miss Piggy, I have a whole bunch of these. I actually think I have multiple listings of these because I don't often go back and edit an old listing when I get more of the same card in. I'll just make a new listing. It's not worth the effort of going through that inventory behind me and moving everything out to fit in the extras, and it's just not worth it. I'll change the title up, see if the keywords help at all. But in any case, Little Miss Piggy. I don't know if you've run into this issue. I don't run into it as much as I would expect, considering how many listings I have. But every so often, after a while, a picture just dies. So I probably should go back and rescan this card so I can get that back image of the card in there. But knowing myself, it'll probably go on my list and then take me 6 months to ever think of it again. But this Piggy Muppets 549. Actually, this one sold for 4.99, I believe. But in any case, and then the last one I am going to share with you today is not ephemera. This is a Playvision's figure from 1998. This actually came out of my personal collection. I've been slowly getting my dinosaur and Jurassic Park collection out on display, and as I've been going through the boxes, I've been finding non-dinosaur animal-related figures um, in the collection, and I don't really even have enough space for all the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park, so I've decided to, downsize and let go of some of these items. And it turns out that the animal figures actually have quite a big collector following, especially for the old retired items. So this is a basilisk lizard. It was a good size. I don't know if I have the. Well, I should have a picture in here somewhere. Wow, I didn't even put a scale in. That's amateur hour. All the figures after this, I've had a picture with a ruler in it. I highly recommend it. It just helped with some issues. Yeah, I don't put the size in at all. Don't do that. But in any case, let's see if I can get this going. So yeah, cool looking lizard. Sold. I don't remember if I put this one up on auction. I don't think I did. I think I just had it directly as buy it now because I saw other ones listed. Um, some of the things, some of the other ones I think that were listed were a better deal than mine. But in any case, mine sold full price, $20, $6 shipping. Can't argue with that. So yeah, keep an eye out on the figures, and as you know, going through your own collection, don't be afraid to make room for new things and sell off the old. So I hope you have a great rest of your Friday, and I might have a second video coming out today because today's a special day that I totally forgot about. So stay tuned for that. Bye for now. Where's the button?